say they're
Okay. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for attending this webinar on small business networking strategies. We've had an interesting time with some technology going on in the background, so thank you for your patience as we have been getting everything working. I'm your moderator, Jenny Alton, from the New York Small Business Development Center Central Office. This webinar is brought to you by the PACE Manhattan SBDC, a regional center of the NYSBDC. The NYSBDC is a U.S. Small Business Administration resource partner with regional centers at higher education institutions and outreach offices at other locations across New York State. Our free advising, education, research, and advocacy services are made possible by funding from the SBA, New York State, and our host campuses. We are very pleased to have Harvey Markovitz, Professor Emeritus from Pace University, as your presenter today. We also have Greg Callender, a certified business advisor, and Ishani Jutani, a new business advisor with the PACE Small Business Development Center. So you know, we are recording today, and we plan to share a link to the recording and the slides in a follow-up email. Attendees are muted and will not be on camera. Your chats will be visible to me and our presenters. If you have any questions come up during the presentation, please don't hesitate to type them in the Q&A box. You can open Zoom's Q&A box from the Q&A button at the bottom of your Zoom window, and we will do our best to address those questions throughout Professor Markovitz's presentation. With that, I will now turn the time over to Greg.
Thanks, Jenny, and good morning, everyone. I'm Greg Callender, a certified business advisor with the Pace University Small Business Development Center. The PACE SBDC is part of a network of 20 SBDCs throughout New York State. We provide a variety of assistance, both to existing New York small businesses, as well as to those aspiring entrepreneurs who are looking to start a business. The services we provide include helping entrepreneurs to obtain financing, assisting with comprehensive business plans and financial projections, developing and implementing marketing and social media strategies, applying for government certification, and gathering market research. All PACE SBDC services are free of charge. We offer services in both English and in Spanish. Our geographic areas of focus are Lower Manhattan and all of Brooklyn, New York. We offer client meetings via Zoom, in person at our Lower Manhattan headquarters on the campus of Pace University, at certain branches of New York City's public libraries, and on-site in partnership with various Brooklyn-based economic development and community organizations. Registering to become a client for free assistance is very simple. I will momentarily put two links into the chat. One is to our main homepage, and the second link will be a registration link where you can sign up for free to become a client. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. We're delighted to have Professor Emeritus Harvey Markovitz lead the presentation. Professor Markovitz has been in sales and marketing since 2000. He's been a professor at both CUNY and most recently at Pace University, where he founded the Pace University sales team. He currently works as a sales and marketing consultant. And with that, I'll turn it over to Professor Emeritus Harvey Markovitz.
Good morning, everybody. You got to give me a second here. I got a slight glitch on my presentation. I'm just trying to upload it and be able to share with you. So let me just wait 1 second. Let me get my Zoom. Okay, now I'll be able to get this set. We had this all working fine, Greg, and then all of a sudden I decided to do something and I screwed it up, which just goes to show that nothing is perfect.
No worries at all.
Okay, hold on 1 sec. All right, here we go. Share. Now we're cooking with gas.
All right, we can see it now.
You can see the presentation, right?
We can. Thank you.
Okay. So we're going to talk today about networking and relationship building. Probably the single most important aspect of running any business. If you have an established business, or if you're just a brand new entrepreneur and you're trying to start up a business, or if you're a sole practitioner and you don't know what you want to do and you think you want to go into business, you've got to be able to network, and you've got to be able to express what makes you different and why people should want to network with you. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And I'm going to give you some hints as to how you can improve your skill set in networking. As we go through this presentation, if any of you have any questions and stuff you want to talk about, just drop Jenny a note, and she'll bring it up to my attention, and then we can try to deal with it as it goes on. So the first thing that you have to bear in mind is something that's very simple. What is networking? It's a mindset. What you want to be able to do is develop the concepts to practice good networking and how it becomes a practice of everyday activities. How you make a connection. Very critical, right? We all want to be able to do this. Okay, that's critically important. Okay. So the first thing is being able to introduce yourself. How do you introduce yourself? You just say, hey, I'm Harvey Markovitz, Pace University, or Joe Schmo, XYZ company. What do we do? Why would people want to know it? You know, if you take a look, I'm sure you all have stashes of business cards. Take a look at the business card. And just, you can do that now as we're talking. See how many people can actually tell you on their business card what they can do to help you make your life easier. What do they do to help you solve your problems? Is that on their business card or not? Well, we're going to get into what you have to do in order to let this stand out. So you've got to be able to develop a lemonade statement. We're going to get into what a lemonade statement is. You have to demonstrate value to your network relationships as to what value you bring to them and why they should want to engage with you. So let's see what that means. What is that? Anybody know what that is? Put it on your chat. Anybody know what it is? Obviously, it's a pitcher of lemonade. That's your business. You want to sell the lemonade. How are you going to sell that lemonade? How are you going to sell that lemonade? So what you have to be able to do is to find your uniqueness. Here, for example, if you're an interior designer, define your uniqueness as an interior designer. If you are run a machine shop in Brooklyn, what problems will you solve and how will you solve them for your prospective clients? What's in it for your networking target to listen to what you have to say? Well, what you have to do is summarize it all into a lemonade statement, because you don't have time to give a whole big spiel as to what it's all about. I don't know if any of you have ever gone to networking groups like the SBDC offers the networking groups, just networking meetings, and oftentimes the format is we sit around a table, and as we're sitting around the table, we introduce ourselves. And we introduce ourselves, we have literally 10 seconds, maybe 20 seconds to say who we are, what we do, and how we can help people. You've got to be able to master that very quickly into what I call a lemonade statement. Now, why do we call it a lemonade statement? We'll see. You don't describe lemonade as a drink of fresh squeezed lemon with ice, water, and sugar. That's not, who cares? That's like saying a Toyota has got tires and it's got a front end and a back end. And it's got an engine, and it's got 500 horsepower on it, 600, 700 horsepower. People don't care about that. What do they care about? They care if they get into that Toyota, they can get on the highway in less than 60 miles an hour. Less than 5 seconds to get up to 60 miles an hour to get up to speed. Isn't that what the issue is? So now we're talking about value. All right, what else? What's in it for me, the prospect? What's in it for me to hear what you have to say about your business and about you? What is lemonade? Describe lemonade in terms that the networking prospect wants to hear. Okay, so now we're starting to come into the summertime. And what's going on? It's getting hotter. We need a drink. Why do we need a drink? Because we want to be able to do something. And therefore, I'm thirsty. I'm very thirsty. What's in it for me if I pass by your operation, your storefront? What's in it for me? If I drink your lemonade, it's going to quench my thirst. That's our lemonade statement. It quenches my thirst. So the lemonade statement of lemonade, describing what this lemonade is, describe yourself in simple terms like you're describing lemonade. What does lemonade do? It quenches my thirst. 10 words or less, not more, 10 words or less. Best a simple short statement of the end result of how to solve problems. Okay, that's the objective. That's the first step you have to go through. So while we're going through this seminar, I want you each to try to think, what is it that you offer your customers, and see if you can put that in 10 words or less. Okay. For example, Harvey Markovitz. Markovitz is a name, marketing is a game, helping companies improve profitability one day at a time. Now, that's the networking statement that I use when I go to a networking group meeting. And you know what? It took me a long time to put that down. And let's count the words. You got, besides your name, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. But let's cut to the chase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 words. Helping companies improve profitability one day at a time. That's what I do. So now we have a break in our meeting. And if someone's faced with a profitability problem, they're going to come up to me at this networking group and say hi. Create a 20-second infomercial using your USP to use at a networking event or on the elevator. Does the opener have the other person say, tell me more about what you can do, how you can do that? Because what you want them to say is, hey, Harv, how can you help me improve my profitability? So does the opener have the other person say, tell me more about how you can help me do that? Am I specific enough about my uniqueness? Well, you tell me. Does it show that I enjoy what I am doing? Because if I don't enjoy what I'm doing, I'm not going to be a help to you. What benefits do I offer? I can help you improve your profitability. What makes me unique? There aren't very many people out there that can do this successfully. And transcribe your lemonade statement to fit on your business card. So you want to put that business card, you want to put that name on your business card. Every one of my business cards has a simple statement. It says, helping companies improve profitability one day at a time. Now, when I first put this together, the reason why that was unique is because a lot of marketing and management consultants would go into a small business and say, hey, for 10 grand, I can create your unique selling proposition, or I can help you structure your marketing message for 10 grand. Holy mackerel, I don't know who you are, Markovitz, and you're asking me for 10 grand up front? Or you're asking me for a retainer for 5 grand? No, but my uniqueness is one day at a time. I don't ask for an advance. I don't ask for long-term commitment. I ask for payment if you're satisfied at the end of that day. Okay, that's one day at a time, where most of my competition charged a heavy retainer. We help companies solve international shipping challenges. Gee, that looks like it could be DHL. It could be UPS. Okay. We train salespeople and students to be more effective in converting LinkedIn and telemarketing leads to customers. Well, that sounds like what we do in our business, in the HBM Associates business. Markovitz is the name, marketing is the game. Now, as soon as I say that, you know that I'm a marketer. Helping companies improve profitability one day at a time using marketing. And it was very interesting that I found out if I came up with that slogan, the next time I came back to the networking group, when I said Markovitz is the name, the people who were there the last time said, marketing is the game. So they already knew what my trade was. Now they had to figure out how I can help them. A statement of your company's USP is unique selling proposition. We sell lemonade to quench thirst. Okay. So now what you have to do is position yourself in creating your brand. Now, this is all, by the way, before you even step foot into a networking group. You have to have all this buttoned down. Your brand is who you are and what people think about you when they hear your name. It's not how you look at yourself, it's how others do. It's painting a picture of who you are. You're developing a positioning statement that expresses how you would like to be perceived. Does your appearance communicate the message that you want to convey? That's important. So, what's the second step you have to be able to do? Once you get across your lemonade statement, you got to get on a first name basis. You have to get on a first name basis. And how do you do that? Well, you make your lemonade statement, then get on a first name basis like this. Markovitz is the name. Marketing is the game. Helping companies improve profitability one day at a time. Mr. Smith, call me Harv. May I call you William? Now, if you look at this, and he might end up saying, no, call me Bill, which is great. But here's what we're doing. Look at the words. Mr. Smith, so I'm addressing you by formally your last name, Mr. Smith. I'm not calling you. Now, if you go to a networking group, you know you have these name tags on. Every name tag's got a first name and a last name. It's very easy to walk up to someone and say, hi, Joe. Hi, Harry. No, you want to give them respect. So, Mr. Smith, call me Harv. Now you ask for permission. May I call you by your first name? May I call you William? Ask permission. Mr. Smith asks, how can you, now Mr. Smith asks me, how can you help me? Or let me see what you can do for me. What are you going to do at a networking group? Are you going to answer that question right there and then? Do you answer that question? No, you don't present now. Why don't you present now? Because why are you at a networking group? You're at a networking group to collect as many business cards as you possibly can. So when you get back to your office or your store or your shop, you can then follow up on every one of these leads. So you don't present now. You set a meeting where you'll have Mr. Smith's attention. Here's how you do it. Your answers, would you like to see how? Bill, how is your office Tuesday at 3 or is Wednesday at 4 better? Whoa, hold on 1 second, please. Okay, so you're giving them 2 choices. Actually, here we're giving them 4 choices. Tuesday at 3 or Wednesday at 4. Don't ask them to open their calendar and say, what's good for you? You give them a choice. You control the meeting. What would you like to see? What would you like? Would you like to see how I can help you? Tuesday at 3 or is Wednesday at 4 better? And at your office, because I want to get to your office, because when I get to your office, I can evaluate you, your situation, and your whole company much better in your office. And you're going to be more comfortable talking in your office than in a restaurant for a cup of coffee. So now build your own lemonade statement and let's practice. Why don't we do this? Everybody take time now to prepare your own USP statement. Just write it down. Follow the above rules that I gave you. Look at your experience and your training. So let's say you're just graduating school, you're a graduate student just finishing up. What are you going to say? You can't say you're an expert. You can't say you can help build your plan. But what word can you use? You could say very simply, I'm trained in marketing and analytics. I'm trained to help you solve a problem. Tell us what you are trained to do and how well you do it. Make it so it's a WIIFM statement. WIIFM is not a radio station. It's the most important marketing tool that you can memorize. What's in it for me, says the customer. So it's what's in it for me. Make it a what's in it for me statement to the other person to know who you are. Take 10 minutes now to do it. Well, take 5 minutes now. Then we'll go around the room, introduce ourselves on a first name basis and set up a follow-up meeting. We're not going to really have time to do this all, but why don't you try to shoot them off and shoot Jenny a note and say, here's my USP, and then Jenny can send those to me or let us know what it is. Okay, Jenny?
Yes. And we did actually have one come in already.
All right, good. Let's hear what it is. Why don't you
So
say?
this person said, I solve property managers' issues by assisting them with facility services in a fast turnaround time.
Okay. See if you can cut that down to 10 words.
Okay.
Not you, but the person who wrote. That's very good.
Yes.
Very good
Yes.
first attempt. We get any more?
Okay. That person said, yes, they're going to look at that.
We got one more?
Okay. Here's another one that just came in. I help people with food allergies figure out what they can eat safely.
Okay. Now what you want to be able to do is this. You don't want to use the word I help. So that, because that takes up words, right? So why don't you just change the I help to helping people? Okay. What's the rest of the statement?
With food allergies, figure
Yep.
out what they can eat safely.
Figure out what they can eat safely. There you go. Good. You guys are getting it. Any more?
Let's see. We haven't had any more come in yet. Oh, here's another. So this person, they started out with introducing themselves, that they are a magnetic leader bridging justice, healing, strategy, sisterhood, oops, and social impact.
Okay. I have no idea what you just said. So what you got to do, what you have to do is put that into English. So I can, it relates to me and what I'm all about. So you got to change your words, come up with different words, make it shorter, and talk about what you can do, what the end result is. What is the end result you can do for me? That's how you have to phrase it. Think about the end result. Improving profitability is an end result. All right, we'll take one more. You got any more, Jenny?
Yeah. Okay. So this one, understanding today by looking at yesterday, preserving our day for tomorrow.
Okay.
So this person is a historian, educator, and journalist.
Okay. So what you have to figure out is what is the end game? Because that's a very confusing end game. What is the end game? What is the end? What can the person who you do this? Let's say you have a client. What is a client going to be able to take away when they have you working with them? That's what you have to translate that into and make it shorter and make it right to the point. Say that again, please, Jenny.
Okay, that one was understanding today by looking at yesterday, preserving our day for tomorrow.
That's a tough one to work through. You got to really work on that one.
Yes.
Any more?
Oh yeah, there are lots more.
All right,
So,
we'll take two more and that's it. Then we'll move.
okay, so this person said, I streamline operations, organize chaos, and bring clarity to your business so you can focus on what you do best.
It's too long and you can certainly make that shorter. I mean, I can figure out how to make that short in about 10 minutes. Go ahead, do it again. Another one.
Okay, we engineer software to help companies run more efficiently, ensuring better control for higher profitability.
Okay, the bottom line is what you said at the tail end, ensuring proper control for profitability. Isn't that what you're really all about? So use that as your end statement and one or two or three words to describe what you do to get there. One more.
Okay, making golf accessible in inner city urban areas.
That would be fun. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Okay. Now you got to bring that one into home. Like, who are you serving? What message do they want to hear? Are they a recreation facility? Are they a Hilton in downtown New York that needs something like this? And you want to get to the recreation director of that Hilton? Okay. What is it that you really want to be able to do? And how are you going to do it to make it beneficial for them? All right, let's move on to the presentation. This is very good, guys. If you want to send more, just keep sending them to Jenny. She'll send them to me. And if we have a feedback mechanism, I'll get back my comments to you. Okay. So now you have another situation. Here's another situation. Some of you might be introverts. You're afraid to network. You don't know how to network. You're afraid to talk to people. Well, what do? Here's a very short clip. It's a 2-minute clip on how networking works for introverts. Jenny, can I see the video?
We're not seeing the video yet.
Very first networking situations, I
We can
basically
hear it.
hid. I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
wasn't wrapped up in a curtain in the corner or anything, but I didn't talk to anybody, and it was a
Wait, you're not seeing it?
We're not seeing it. We could hear it though.
Well, that's not doing, I want to be able to share. All right, here, let's try this.
Yep, now we can see it.
time.
Okay.
But now that I've learned a few bits and pieces and gotten used to it, I have a much richer experience of networking, and it definitely pays off. I know it's a little bit awkward, but it's absolutely worth it. You might meet someone who can help you directly, or you might meet someone who can connect you to someone in their network. So, for example, I remember going to an event and meeting a podiatrist, and he was able to introduce me to the Australian editor of Harper's Bazaar. And I mean, that was so unexpected and cool. So I put together a bunch of tips of things that I've learned over the years that might help you in networking. Tip number 1, introduce yourself. I know that seems super obvious, but it is a bit of a weird social situation. So if I walk into a room and there's a group of people, what I tend to do is walk up to them and just say, "Hi, do you mind if I join you?" And of course they will welcome you. Be friendly, don't just get straight into business, ask how their day has been. And then that next question can be, "So tell me what you do." And they've introduced yourself, and it's pretty easy going. On the flip side, if you're in a group of people and you see someone standing by themselves, then invite them into your group. That way, you've done something really nice for them, actually, because it's, they've obviously experienced a bit of awkwardness. And secondly, you've met another person. Tip number 2 is short conversations. So nobody is going to think that you're rude at all for having a short conversation. I mean, don't be abrupt, but look, you're not there to lock in and become best friends and all that sort of stuff. That might happen in the future, but definitely at this event, you're there to make lots and lots of connections. So have like short, meaningful conversations and keep going. Tip number 3, business cards. Don't forget to take your business cards with you. I've totally done this before. It's a huge pain in the butt. Also, too, anyone whose business card you get, make sure you email them within 24 hours. This is for both of you. So for you, so you remember, why you made that connection. Secondly, so you're still fresh in their mind. And thirdly, so that when you do inevitably lose their business card, you'll have their details logged somewhere. So look, I really hope that these tips have helped you, and I would love to hear your tips as well. So please put them in.
Okay. Let's see here. Doot. So those are tips. Those are tips on how an introverted person can network successfully. Okay. Well, let's see what else is going on. Now we've introduced ourselves. What's next? Let's network. So Andrew Nierenberg, who was a mentor of mine, is called the networking success story by the Wall Street Journal before networking was in style. She's an executive coach, a networking strategist, and a communications consultant. She was a driving force behind the Nierenberg Consulting Group. It's an internationally known business development authority, author and speaker in professional development, sales training, and business communications. Okay. So I've got a little clip here, and let's see what Andrea has to say to give you some additional tips.
Networking, very much like washing our hands during the COVID, is something we need to be doing all the time, not just when we're in a pandemic. It's about building relationships, and every single one of you that's listening to this knows that it's continual building, developing, creating, and connecting. Now more than ever, we need to connect with people. We have different varieties and vehicles to do so. We have all the online tools at our fingertips, which makes it wonderful. The events that we used to go to and that we'll someday go back to, they're just the sliver, the beginning. The real process of networking, and I always say the opposite of networking is not working. Every time you meet someone, you can learn from them, be a resource, and give. The last words, give. That's key. It's about that maintaining and reaching out. So today we're on Zoom meetings, we're on all kinds of programs with WhatsApp and Facebook, you name it, we have them all. So I adhere to a very simple process. I do 5 things every single day. I did this in in-person networking, and I do it online networking in the new world. Connect with people, all different ways. Meet people, connect with people, and do your homework and research. And in that course of meeting and connecting, nurture those relationships. Every single day, I do 3 things. I email 3 people, I text 3 people, I write 3 handwritten personal notes, something a lost art, and I add on to that. So when I say I do 3 things, I really do more. And I make 3 phone calls. Remember the old phone that we use? Absolutely. And I link in with people with a note to personalize it, and I might reach out to someone on FaceTime and Facebook. So there you have that. Listen and learn every day. The more we listen, the more we learn. We're given 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason. Do it. 3, create connectivity. Make connections for other people. That's the goal. 1 + 1 = 3. I do this every single week. 4, follow up with people. After all is said and done, much more said than done. So follow up. It's easy to follow up. Get back to people. Keep them in the loop. You'll be remembered. And what gets remembered gets rewarded. Last but not least, stay on people's radar screens. Do it in a variety of ways. Go back to the things we talked about in part 1 about nurturing the relationships. And if you haven't signed up for Google Alerts, do so. Google will prompt you on how to set it up. It keeps you on the radar of people. So an opportunity to reach out. So there you have it. Short, sweet, to the point, continual success.
Okay, that's Andrea. And her issue is making networking as part of my life, a mindset. That's the key. Make it part of your life. Be a resource to others. Give them something. Learn from them. Think about the following. Who you can send a note or article to. Who can I just say hello to? What did you learn from someone today? Who can you refer? Not just get a referral. Who can you refer today? Give to others with a sheer passion of simply helping. It doesn't take much to have a mindset. It's amazing how many opportunities will come back to you. Now you have the ABCs of networking. First, A is take action with a positive attitude. Belong to groups to build your brand. Connect with contacts consistently and cultivate relationships. Deliver above expectations. Engage, involve, emphasize, empathize. Take a friendly approach. Set goals. Humor and help. Get involved. Join. Keep in touch. Be kind. Listen and learn. Motivate yourself. Niceness pays. Ask open-ended questions. Practice professionalism. Set your own quote of stuff to do in networking. Be a resource to others. Be strategic. Be strategic and wear a smile. Timing is everything. Trust is key. Understand others. Be versatile. Write letters and postcards. Do it with love. Focus on you, meeting the other person you are dealing with, and have a zeal for possibilities for new and nurtured relationships. Okay, network is all around. Customers, clients, colleagues, people in your profession, people at this workshop, former classmates, neighbors, family, friends, people you meet serendipitously. Pay attention to the universe. Keep your eyes and ears open for possibilities of meeting total strangers, becoming friends. Networking with not always comfortable until you get used to it and you know what you're doing strategically. Then you realize it's just a way of maintaining good connections with people. Okay, let people know you value them. Use people's names. Acknowledge their presence. Remember details such as birthdays and anniversaries. Let people know you're available to them. Give credit where it's due. Become a better listener. Ask open-ended questions. Create connections between your contacts. Say thank you, even when you get a no. Sorry, Harvey, I don't want to engage with you today. And I sent them a thank you note. Thank you for the opportunity of being able to meet with you. Being a joiner and get involved. Keep a database of people you meet using Excel. Database your network. Know this about your contacts. Here are the things you should be knowing. company, business background, the address, the phone number, assistant's name, key relationships, why do business with you, how you met, what achievement makes them proud, how do they like to receive information, preferred method of contact. So if you can imagine setting this up on an Excel spreadsheet, these are all your columns. And then here's the stuff you fill in: birthdays, state or country, schools attended. If you have all this information, you can really be very successful in your networking. And you need to be proactive to maintain relationships. Andrew says she spends 30 minutes a day talking with 2 existing clients or friends. Ask them what they need, want, like, or don't like. Ask one of your key relationships to serve on a board with you. Post articles. You can do it on WhatsApp. You can do it on Google. You can do it on MyFit. And you guys know the social media. You can post articles. LinkedIn. Invite people to try a new item before you launch it. Partner with them on a project. Have a meal with them. Make connections for them. Keep giving them added value. You're always marketing yourself or your business, even if you think you're not in a business setting. Then you find ways of staying on memory screens. Handwritten, not email notes, personal notes. FYI, thank you, thinking about you, thought you'd be interested in this. This stuff goes a long way. I've used it very successfully to gain a client base. Because they are rare, your written notes will make an impression. Imagine, the mail still works. People still like to go to the mailbox and open up the mail and take out an envelope. If you had an envelope in there addressed to me personally, wow, handwritten, not typed. Hey, that's personal, man. That's a great impression. Make your, whatever the postage is, just how dated this presentation is, 55 cents for every stamp investment pay off. Holiday cards, interesting emails forwarded, blogs with a mention of your friend, gifts. Even if you get a no, send a thank you note. What do you do after a meeting? You generate a greeting email or a personal note within 24 hours. Under promise, over delivery. Within 2 weeks, suggest getting together for a drink or lunch. And use the phone to do it. Don't do it by email or text message. Use the telephone. It still works. Once you get a referral, don't forget to thank the referee.
Professor Markovitz?
Yes.
We have a really good question that I want to make sure we get answered. This person said, how do you reconnect with people you've lost connection with? Life gets busy. Sometimes some of us aren't diligent about keeping up with people. So what suggestions do you have for that reconnection scenario?
That's a great question. Great question. Very important question too. And you just met it. In your question, you use certain words that are critical for reestablishing that relationship. Like sending them a personal note, not an email, not a text, but a personal note that said, Joe, I haven't seen you in 20 years, 30 years, 10 years, 5 years. We've lost connection. We got busy in our own ways. Let's reconnect. And you give that person in your letter or in your note to them, give them your email address, give them your phone number. If they reached out to you and established a relationship with you via email, then respond to them via email. Do the same thing. Say, sorry, we did not connect earlier. We've lost touch. Let's get back together. It's very simple. Okay. There's no problem in telling someone, hey, you're sorry we lost contact. Let's just reconnect and just do it. Don't be afraid. Okay.
We do have a couple other questions if you're okay taking them right now. Okay. So one of the attendees would like a bit more clarification about how you've mentioned posting articles. So what exactly do you mean by that? Are you linking articles, writing articles? What are you doing?
Okay. So for example, the easiest place that you can create write your own article is LinkedIn. If you're all in business, you should all be on a LinkedIn. You should have a LinkedIn profile. In your LinkedIn profile, by the way, you have your lemonade statement as far as your definition, not necessarily your title, what your company is, but what you can do to help people. So that's number one. Number two, if you have a thought, let's say if you have something is bothering you in the news and you want to write an article about that because you have a skill set that relates to that, just write the article as if you're writing a news article and you post it on your LinkedIn spread. The easiest way to do it. And LinkedIn is a business networking group as opposed to Facebook. Okay. And any more, Jenny?
We do have a couple more.
I'll take one more.
Okay, one more question here. This person wanted to know, so first of all, if a spreadsheet exists, a template of that spreadsheet that you were talking about, with the various points to keep track of. And then also, do you have any suggestions for helping to automate these touch points, as this person does a lot of follow-ups and it can get hard to keep up?
Well, number one, there is no template that's already created. So you're going to get copies of the slides, so you can jot these things down as being what you want to put into your own spreadsheet. And number two, unfortunately, networking takes work. So you're going to have to keep up with the person getting on the news feeds. Make certain that you know when that person is in the news and how they're in the news, using a Google alert to tell you when their name has popped up in a newspaper article, so you'll see what kind of changes they have. So that's the kind of work you're gonna have to do on your own. It's not an automatic feature, I'm sorry to say.
Okay, thank you. We will save other questions for another pause later
By
on.
the way, all right, before I forget, I want to make certain you know how to do this. Let's take a look at your business card. Just take out your business card. Here's the basic information that should be on your business card. Your first name, your last name. That's number one. The best phone number to reach you, and it should be your cell number, because that's going to be most personal, direct to you. Okay. Your postal address, where you want to receive, ready? Checks, where you want someone to send you money to. So where you want them to send mail, where you can be reached. So your postal address and your zip code. Those are the basics, plus your lemonade statement. That stuff should fit on your business card. That's a must. You don't need a picture of yourself. You don't need to be fancy schmancy. Your card should be white and black for the most part. White background, black type. And it should be so that you can write on the card, matte finish as opposed to a glossy finish. Okay, now you've got your tool to go into a meeting. All right? Okay. So let's say how we can make a networking practical. Here we go. So the N stands for needs and nurturing names. E is evolve, eye contact, ears tuned and engaged, trust, time, talk less and listen more, write, work it, opportunity to learn and be resource, open-ended, questions and organize, relationships, reflection, return all forms of correspondence, a phone call, an email, text to reply to people by the means that they reached out to you. That's how you reach out to them. Knowledge and kindness, into integrity and initiative, interest, needs of others, no to on. Okay, give of your time, goals, and continue to grow. The follow-up tactics. Whenever you're meeting with someone, always have a smile on your face. Show the teeth, even if you have braces. You know, as an adult, I had braces and it came to my advantage. So, you know, Harv, you're wearing braces. What's that all about? And I would say, Joe, I've taken steps to improve my health and my performance, so I'm better ready to serve your needs. Don't you want to do the same in your business? I mean, it's a good way. Make certain you're listening, pay attention to the body language. Avoid being pushy. Give genuine compliments. Business cards are golden with the USP. Make sure you have it. Okay. So what's the etiquette of networking? Arrive early. Position your name tag so it's easily seen. Place it on your right hand lapel. As they shake your hand, they see it, right? Think about it. Exchange business cards with ease. Now, our traditional way that we're all taught and early on in our business career was when we meet somebody, we shake their hands. Hey, Harv, glad to meet you. Harvey Markovitz. Markovitz is the name, right? Now, what happens when I do that? Okay, think about COVID. Did you ever shake anybody's hand during COVID? Hell no. Well, there's still a lot of people that are germophobic. They don't want to take your hand. You know, they still do a fist bump or an elbow bump. But that doesn't really work on a professional side. So how do you make an introduction? Well, what you do, once you have your business card, you simply take your business card and you make your introduction. Markovitz today, marketing is game, helping people improve profitability one day at a time. And you hold this business card and you're holding it out to the person. And they take the business card. And you continue your conversation by saying, Mr. Smith, call me Harvey, may I call you Bill? Okay, very important. Exchanging business cards with ease. Okay. Make eye contact and keep it. Shows you interest and respect. Avoid invading personal space. 18 inches is safe distance to be from someone. Carefully join conversations and ask permission. This looks like a fun group. May I join? How do you guys know each other? Okay, very easy ways of getting involved with the group. Avoid awkwardness of chewing while talking. And number one, don't ever have gum in your mouth when you're in a networking group. Just don't eat. Non-alcoholic networking is best. Exit conversations politely. Like, I've got to go now. Thank you. It's been a very nice meeting. I'll be in touch. Okay, now remember, you go to a networking group, people are not there to schmooze. They're there to make connections, so everyone's trying to work the room. Express pleasure having met and say you hope you meet again. It was great to meet you. Very simple. My time has been well spent just meeting you. At events, people like to talk to everybody. 7 to 10 minutes should be just right. After the meeting, personal handwritten notes. Nice talking to you. Handwritten note goes a long way. Shy people network well. The idea of networking is for outgoing people is false. Networking is not for outgoing people, it's for shy people. Introverts are great listeners. Rather than let the other guy talk, shows respect. They remember details that others forget because they are good listeners, taking it in all the time. They focus on the person talking. Makes that person feel significant. They build great relationships because they care about the other guy. They find the right time to speak. They network well when they can use their skills to help others. Okay, let's take a look at some of these skills. Let's take a test on listening skills. Score, do it yourself. Score 5 if you do this with ease. Score 1 if you rarely do this and awkward. So score yourself now. Making eye contact. How do you score yourself? 1 or 5? Ask questions for clarification. When you're in a meeting and someone doesn't understand, you don't understand, do you ask questions for clarifying? Show concern. I use positive body language by nodding and smiling appropriately. I try to understand the speaker's point of view before expressing mine. I am poised and emotionally controlled, not jumping to conclusions or interrupting the speaker. I react non-verbally with a smile or nod and without interrupting. I do not let my mind wander. I avoid interrupting. Let the other person finish. And I avoid changing the subject without notice. How well did you score in this? 5 to 1 on each one of these points. Okay, so 35 to 45, you're an exceptional listener. 25 to 34, you're very good. Average if you're 20 to 24. 15 to 19, keep working on the skill. Take a good look at the areas where you can improve. Take the test again in 2 weeks and see if you've improved. Watch your ratings increase as you improve your skills. Now, you take someone out to eat. What do you do when you take them out to eat? Now, here's some tips, okay? First thing, start off at the bottom. Use hand sanitizers. Let people see that you're spraying your hands with spray. I use a portable spray and I just put on my hands and I wipe my hands so people know that I'm cleaning my hands. So they'll know if I touch anything, it's not dirty. If you're the host, you direct the server to serve the guests first. You leave your phone on vibrate. If you're expecting a call, you let your host know. If you don't want dessert and you're the host, offer it anyhow. Keep the dinner napkin on your lap. If you leave, put it on a chair and introduce yourself to the person on the left first. then on the right, and then the rest of the table. Water's on the right, salad's on the left. If your neighbor forgets, ignore it. If not sure what utensils to use, work from the outside in. When done, place your fork and knife parallel on the plate. At lunch, wait to discuss business until the main course is done. But at breakfast, talk business after the orders are placed. It's okay to take notes. Wait for the head to start before you do. If you are the host, you start first. Don't wait. Choose one or two of these tips and don't get overwhelmed. Build your relationships in 5 steps. First, you meet people, listen and learn, make connections, follow up, stay in touch. That's it. That's how you can be successful in networking. The golden rule of business networking, it's not what you know, it's who you know. It takes time, determination, and patience to build your network. And that's me, Harvey Markovitz, Clinical Professor Emeritus, Marketing and Sales, Pace University. Now, let me just give you one more sales tip. In selling, and we run a separate seminar at the small business process on sales. But here's a selling tip you should know. That same selling tip of the lemonade statement, that should be used to define what your business is. And you use that in cold calling. I'm sure many of you make cold calls. How else are you going to meet people? That's the first easy method of networking, is you get yourself a list of people, of contacts, and you want a cold call. Well, what do you do when you get on the phone to call someone for the first time? You better make certain you have your lemonade statement down so that you can say, for example, that you're calling let's say if I'm trying to reach professors and I want to get professors involved and engaged with methodology that I use at PACE, I call and I ask for a professor. I call the person's name because I have the name. I have the numbers of the professors. So what first thing you want to be able to do is get a hold of a good call list. A good call list. And when you get a hold of that list, now you're going to make a phone call. You make that phone call and you say, it's Harvey Markovitz calling. You want to tell the person how much time they have. You say you have 10, I just need 10 seconds of your time to tell you why I'm calling. Now you state your lemonade statement by saying, I help professors teach students how to improve their selling skills. Now they know what I do. I was hoping I can get 30 minutes of your time, 20 minutes of your time, 10 minutes of your time to explain to you what I do, how it's Tuesday at 3 or Wednesday at 4. Remembering that when you make your first initial phone call, you are not calling to sell anything. You're calling to make an appointment. Because when you're cold calling, by definition, that other person is busy. They're busy doing something else. So if they're busy doing something else, you're interrupting them. If you're interrupting them, the last thing they want to do is talk to you. But what you want to do is try to get an appointment. And you can do that in 2 to 3 minutes. We didn't have time to go into that during this seminar, but I could direct you to a site that's called the Gold Call, thegoldcall.com. Thegoldcall.com. If you go there, you'll see how you can use and how you can reach out to customers or new prospects very quickly by going to thegoldcall.com. And if you practice what is taught in those seminars and thegoldcall.com, you'll be able to improve your selling skills as well. And then you get your selling skills and you get your networking. Okay. How did we do?
We are on time, and we have a couple more questions if we
Okay.
can answer those in the last couple minutes.
Sure.
So a quick question first. You brought up LinkedIn. Do you recommend upgrading to their paid subscription in
Sure.
general?
Sure, if you can afford it, because it'll give you much greater access. It is expensive. It's like $800, but it's very worthwhile if you're building your business. I've had it for 20 years. I just canceled my subscription because, hey, as a retired professor, I don't really need the LinkedIn Explorer anymore, but it is a wonderful tool. I use it all the time. Here's another source to use. Another source to use besides that is a source called, oh, come on, Harvey. I'm having a senior moment. I'll think about it.
It's okay. It'll pop into your head at some point, and we can always put it in the follow-up email too.
Seamless AI. Seamless AI. Okay, reach out to Seamless AI, and you'll find that they're a great tool to identify people in your business sector. But that, again, as I said, Jenny, that's going to be your job to establish this. That's a totally separate seminar on selling. We can go through that. I teach my kids all this stuff. Go ahead. Next question.
Fantastic. Okay. So someone else said, love this today. And if you're having any other classes they would like to attend. So Greg, I believe staying up to date on PACE's events, what's the best way to do that?
What I'll be happy to do is to put into the chat a link to our events page. And again, I would encourage anyone who is attending today who is not currently an SBDC client to register to become a client. Again, all of our services are free. And once you register to become a client, you will be automatically updated. We will, email blast you from time to time with updates about all sorts of programming and things that we think will be of help to you. So I'll put our registration link back into the chat, and I'll also put a link into our events page so you can know what we've got coming up.
Greg and Jenny, can I ask one more thing? Can we ask people by a show of hands how many people really appreciate it today?
All right. You can raise your hand at the bottom. Oh, we're getting a whole bunch. All right. Lots
I'm
and
typing a
lots.
response, or else I'd raise my hand too.
Yes, me as well. All
Okay.
right.
Oh,
Lots of yeses.
You have my email contact if you want to reach out for free advice, because if you can't afford consulting fees, and then that's what we do. Okay, I help these guys out.
Well, thank you, Professor Markovitz. So just the last question that I want to address, the relationship between the social aspects of business and business growth. So how do these impact each other? Because I can imagine as a business grows bigger and bigger, you have more contacts, that starts to get a little bit more difficult. So just in these last few seconds, any comments on that?
Wait, give me a specific point to comment on. It's a lot in that.
The relationship between business growth and the social aspect of the business.
The social aspect meaning what?
The networking.
Well, if you want to grow your business, you must network. It's as simple as that. And if you're just starting off, you network. I remember when I first started my business going back to 1971, when I first went into business as an independent consultant, it took me 10 months before I got my first client, paying client. And how did I do that? Through networking. It's a long struggle. It doesn't happen right away. But try to get to know people. And the most important thing you can do is update your website. Update your website and say, this is the services we have provided to our clients. Don't give complete job descriptions as to what exactly you did for clients. Give the bottom line. You helped improve profitability by 35%. Use quantifying numbers, and you put that in your website. You put that so that people can see what it is. And then what you want to do is you want to have a marketing campaign that draws people to your website so they can see who you are and get ideas as to how you can help them, with a call to action that says, call me to see if I can help you. See how I can help you, not if I can help you, how I can help you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Professor Markovitz. This has been wonderful.
Welcome.
And thank you to everyone who has attended and asking great questions. You definitely contribute so much to the webinar. You will see a survey that will show up on your screen as we shut things down today. We would love to get your feedback in that survey if you have just a minute or two more. Greg, was there anything that you wanted to add?
Sure. Just want to start by thanking Professor Markovitz. Fantastic presentation. Thank you for sharing your expertise. Jenny, thank you for making sure, as you always do, that things run smoothly. And I want to thank everybody for participating. Yeah, the questions were great. We're really glad you guys tuned in today, and we'd be happy to try and be a further help if you become a client. So thank you very much, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.
Greg, sorry for interrupting. One more point, because I'm just scanning the chat. There are a lot of comments on the chat board. If we can get a copy of that chat board, and if we have contacts how to reach back to these panelists, I'll be glad to take a look at them and try to give you my feedback.
Okay, we'll see what we can do with that.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Bye,
Namaste.
everyone.